Hey there. I wanted to talk about something that comes up for a lot of my clients, especially when they're in the beginning phases of their journey with me. And also, it's coming up in my own life. And that's when you feel like you're walking on eggshells around your child's mental health issues, behavioral symptoms, things like that. Whew, walking on eggshells. It's that feeling of like, I need to be careful and I might micromanage everything so that the blow up doesn't happen or that the behavior that I'm worried about doesn't get triggered or activated. So here's what I know when those things are happening in my own family. Um, First, the very, very first thing that I do and that I recommend for my clients is to begin to name your thoughts and feelings about the situation. Just saying those things inside out loud to yourself without judgment is gives you like a little bit of space. So am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling fear? When I notice that tension, that wanting to like make sure everything is okay, um, a lot of times I know there's that fear that's back there. And when I can say there's that fear, I'm wanting to control things. I'm naming it. I'm giving myself some space to pause. And I'm also, in a way, acknowledging that that's part of this experience that feels really hard right now. I'm not trying to change it. I'm not trying to make it any different than it is. It would make sense. Like if I was talking to a friend, I would say it makes sense that you feel that fear right now. It makes sense that you don't want to activate any problematic issues for your kid. And when we're living with kids who have higher needs, sometimes it's unavoidable. So the first thing I do is I work on just naming my experience as much as possible, my feelings and my thoughts. The second strategy that I use when I'm really deep in it is I'm on the lookout for when shame and should are driving the bus. In acceptance and commitment therapy, we talk about the bus full of monsters. And I know for me, uh, the experience of shame and the experience of should can sometimes want to take over. And it's never helpful. And in a way, it reminds me of like saying, I'm okay with a 3-year old driving the bus. And what I do instead, when I notice that those things are coming up for me, those old familiar feelings, is that I know I have to take over driving the bus myself. Um, and what I do is I allow whatever the feeling is that's driving, that's underneath the shame and underneath the shoulds, I allow that to sit next to me. It doesn't get to change the radio station. It doesn't get to drive the bus. It gets to sit with me though, and I know it's a companion at this moment in time. It may not always be there. It might be there for a long time. It might be there for a short time. And I know for me, the feelings that often drive that, that often bring up the shames and the shoulds, is a lot of fear, worries about things being okay. So I allow those feelings to sit with me, and I don't love it. I don't, it's not an exciting part of this journey of being a parent, but it is a reality of what's happening for me. The third thing that I do is I make sure that my personal care team is in place for me. That looks like therapy, um, my own therapy, going to family therapy with my kiddo. And what therapy does for me is it allows me to see my blind spots, and it also helps keep me accountable to the things that I know will make a difference. Now, those are all the baseline things that I know I need to do when we're in a phase of walking on eggshells. Now, of course, when they're mowing the lawn, so of course, when I have a little bit more bandwidth, when I have a little bit more energy, I bring in all those usual self-care things that we all know to do. Um, but these are kind of like the ones that I have to do when I'm in this situation if I want to do something other than walking on eggshells. So, just to summarize, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name without judgment what I'm experiencing. I'm going to pay attention to when shames and shoulds are driving my bus. Maybe for you it's something different, but those are the ones for me. And then I'm going to also make sure that my care team is in place. And for me, that looks like therapy. Let me know what works for you. And also, what are the things that feel hard when you're trying to shift out of walking on eggshells? All right, be well.